Alright you lot, while I've got this Savage, this 3.5 on the bench still, I thought I'd address a few things. I've had the questions, but also a few things I thought would be handy for some of you to know, especially if you're new into Nitro RC, or just, Nitro RC, Petrol RC as well, but we'll concentrate on a bit of Nitro RC, and if you're new to it, then a few things that might come in handy for you. Now, I want to talk pretty much in this video about the cold engine and how to get it started and warming it up and things, because a lot of people don't, and they don't seem to want to. I'll turn this around, it might be easier to see the engine. There we go. And a lot of people don't, and I see people, they finally, when they eventually get them started, they then pick them up and rev the hell out of them, or they just zoom off. This is a little engine, it needs to have a little bit of warm in it, a little bit of heat in it before it goes. Now let's talk about quickly getting it started. If you're in the summer months, or if you live in a hot country, you're going to have no problem at all. You're going to put your glow starter in now, and that's, you're probably going to start it up pretty much straight away. But if you live in a country such as I do, like England, where it's a bit nippy in the winter, sometimes, you might live in America where it gets cold, or some places in whatever, Canada perhaps, I don't know, anywhere where it might get a bit cold. They can be a little bit temperamental to start, because they're effectively like, they're a compression ignition engine, aren't they? A bit like a diesel is. These are a two-stroke engine, but they obviously don't have a spark or anything, so they rely on the compression. So they won't start unless you've got enough heat in your, on your glow plug in there. Just exactly the same as a diesel engine, pretty much. You need to have a bit of heat in there on some of them for them to heat. I can't quote you the flash point of nitro fuel because I don't know what it is, but it's relatively low. So there's a few tricks that you can do. You can get a hairdryer or a heat gun and warm it up. Just warm the heat sink up. Try and warm the block up a bit. And you can, what I used to do, I don't do it anymore. I haven't had any trouble. I mean, I feel it was a bit stuck there. Damn it! I haven't had any trouble with it recently. But you can always put the hairdryer on your air filter so that it sucks in the hot air as well, so your air filter is warm, but don't melt the foam. You can also leave your glow starter in there, put your glow starter in, leave it in for a few sort of seconds, about 5 seconds before you try and start it, because that will heat up the fuel that's sitting on top of your piston, and it will heat the piston up a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit, might give you a bit of a head start and things like that. Now the trick I haven't ever tried, but I've heard people talk about, I never had to do it myself, you can loosen the glow plug a little bit, and that's supposed to make it easier to start, but I can't quote you on that because I've not had to do it myself. I've always been able to start it up just by a little bit of heat on it before, but it doesn't get too cold here in England. The coldest it gets to is -10 in the winter, so -10 degrees centigrade that is, so it's not really too bad. Another little thing that I have done, and I still do, is if I'm taking this car somewhere, I'm taking my nitro car somewhere, and I've got space in my actual real car that I'm driving in to get to the location. If I've got space under the footwell, because if you've got a posh car, you might have heaters at the back, but I don't. So I've only got the foot heat. You can change the heaters, can't you? So they blow down on your feet. Well, if you put your nitro car on the passenger footwell, if you haven't got a passenger, even if you have, maybe they might want to move their feet across, who knows, and put it so your heating is blowing down on your engine, so the whole time you're driving along to wherever you're going, down the park or wherever, it's heating up. It's going to be room temperature, which means all you got to do is, as soon as you're ready, get out, take the car out, and away you go. It's already going to be room temperature, so that will fire up lovely jubbly. Now the next thing is quite important, and a lot of people don't do it. A lot of people don't do it with their real cars and their real engines, let alone little nitro ones. It's warming it up. It's got to be done. It's all right with a big engine. You've got your car, which is like probably a 1.3, or if you're in America, or even here, 2.5 litre, maybe a 7 litre. I don't know what you've got. But with an ordinary engine, warming up's important, but no one ever does, and it's, you know what it's like. But with one of these is tiny little engines, really small little engines, really small little pistons. So, and even on tick over, they're going at stupid RPMs, like few thousand probably. I did know, but again, forgotten. You know, no research before starting filming. There we go. Anyway, so they're going at even at tick over a lot of RPM. So it doesn't... I know they're going to heat up quick and the other one's going to go, well, it heats up in a few seconds, so why does it matter? It's still good practice, you know. Start it up, let it tick over for a bit while you sort your bag out, while you put your glow starter in your pocket or put your toolbox away. You know, get your transmitter ready. It should already be ready before you start it up, but, you know, whatever. And then... You know, by the time you've done that, what's taken about 30 seconds to a minute, that's going to be nice and warm, and then you can zoom off all you want. But I see too many people, they do that, they put it in, and before they've even taken the glow starter out, they've lifted it up, got hold of their transmitter and gone, and it's spinning everywhere. That's no good, man. No good whatsoever. So, just don't do that. So that was just a short little sort of video, because I have had a few people ask me how should I look after my Nitro engine, and I am going to be doing a few more videos on how you should be tuning it, how you should have it running, what a lean mixture sounds like, what a rich mixture looks like. It doesn't really sound any different, might sound a bit boggy. So I'm going to be going through a few little things on how you should maintain your Nitro engine, but pretty much with starting it up, that's pretty much it. You know, if it won't start when it's cold, and you've got the glow starter in, you do need to check to make sure the glow starter is actually charged. You should always carry a spare glow plug in your toolbox with you, and all you got to do is put that in the end of your glow starter, and if it glows, you know your glow starter's fine. All you got to do is heat your engine up a little bit. But that's just a few little tips, just to give you, to help your engine last, and also for easy enough to start, because I know some people get really frustrated. Sometimes that's the reason why people give up with the hobby. The bloke I bought that car from the other day, he gave up on that because he was fed up with it, and then the pull start snapped, and that was just the end that was the last straw for him. He was like, nah, that's it, I've had enough. You know? So people having their little engines, they can be temperamental. Anything that's small is quite temperamental. You know, you get small diggers, you know, mini diggers are more temperamental and snappy than bigger diggers, and things like that. Small cars are more temperamental and snappy than bigger cars. Same with these little tiny engines, very temperamental. But I hope that gave some of you some advice. If you've got any questions, or you think I've got something wrong, which I may have done, then just put a comment, and I'll address it in another video. If you've got any questions, what should you do, blah blah blah, how's this, how's that, then I'll put my knowledge your way. So thanks for watching, and take care everyone.